before they're gone.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is going to be a weekend of making some homemade soup, maybe having a fire in the fireplace and just kind of cozying in and doing some housework, I think, for a lot of us. So we've got a task for you that will help you declutter and help you help those in need all at the same time. Cindy Todd is here. She is with Goodwill Industries in Chattanooga, and they are gearing up on Wednesday, right, for National Recycling Day?
America Recycles Day.
America Recycles Day. So your task this weekend is to grab all those old phone cords that are in the junk drawer, your laptop that you keep thinking you might reuse one day and never will, and bring them to you, right?
The printer, any kind of computer technology, Goodwill accepts. And it's, you know, we're kind of highlighting America Recycles Day, but it's every day of the year except Christmas and Thanksgiving. You can bring it to a Goodwill, and then we'll responsibly recycle it through a partnership with Dell Computers.
I think it makes so much sense. You were explaining a few things to me, so let me kind of say it back, teacher, and see if I got it. But if I brought you a laptop or an old iPhone, y'all are not going to keep it, and really Dell is not going to keep it. It's just that the techno wizards at Dell can break those down and glean from it the materials they need to now create a new piece of technology.
Right. Their aim is to have closed loop production, and so that's why they partnered with Goodwills all across the country. And this has been going on since 2004, and like 600 million pounds have been recycled, so they know what they're doing, and they follow really strict protocols. Now, you know, it's never going to a third world country or anything. It's perfectly safe, and they would take care of the data, but we do want, it's just good practice for all of us to back up our important information and wipe out the sensitive information before you turn it in. So we do ask people to do that. And
yeah.
The good news for people like me, I mean, I hate to admit how long I kept some computer equipment in the top of a closet, and I needed that space, but I was afraid, like I didn't really know how to back it up or most importantly, wipe out the sensitive information. But we've partnered with EPB, and their tech support team will walk you through that and help you. Or there's lots of places that you could go online, and it would tell you how to do that. And you can do it through technology, or I think our IT folks at Goodwill, they just take out the hard drive and smash it. So there you go. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm really trying to think as I'm listening to you mentally, I'm going through my own house, because technology changes so fast that most of us have really far more old pieces than we even realize, because you're always updating it. So even if you have an old computer with the old modem base and all that kind of stuff, you can bring that too, right?
Absolutely. It's any brand and any condition. So some people get confused since it's Dell and think it has to be Dell, but no, any brand and any condition. And there's also a market for, like, I had a bag of cords from when we moved. I don't know how long we had those, but
or what they even go to anymore.
Right. I don't need them. They were just taking up space. And so I learned that there's a company we work with that takes the copper out of that, and that you know, becomes useful.
Yeah.
I love that Edgar Helms, the founder of Goodwill, like he said, our purpose is to save the waste in men and things.
I love
and
that.
I love that too. And you know, Goodwill's been a pioneer in the reuse, repurpose, recycle practice. For our Goodwill will be 100 next year.
Really?
So we've been doing this for a long time, but I don't think enough people know about this computer recycling program.
Yeah, that was kind of new to me. I think something that you touched on that I think is also valuable for people to remember, you mentioned the 100 years. If you shop Goodwill on a regular basis, and many people kind of have their neighborhood one that they like to go to, and you realize you begin to know the people who work there. Many of them have kind of had a second chance, if you will, by being able to work at Goodwill. And that's what y'all do. Part of the proceeds that you'll earn from this program with Dell goes right back in to that community network support that you provide, right?
Right. The stores are a program, but we also train people for jobs throughout the, you know, the counties we serve, which is like 23 counties. So it's not just training and hiring at Goodwill, but for a lot of different places. But we serve those usually that are most in need and give them the training they need.
Yeah. So run through some of the items that you can take. I know we've gone over the cords. Obviously phones and computers. You mentioned printers.
Printers, the ink cartridges,
really?
Laptops.
Okay.
What are we missing?
Well, okay, like I was thinking, you were talking about the bag of cords that you had, and you don't have to have the answer, because I guess if I brought it to you, you could send it to Dell and they can make their decision on what to do with it. But I have an old charger for one of those hoverboards when those were all the thing a few years ago. I guess that has something in it. I don't know.
One thing I love, like I used to worry that if I donated something with a stain, nobody would buy it, but Goodwill actually has a big salvage program, so we try not to waste or trash anything, and so a lot of things like that, it may not be Dell, but it could be somebody else that needs the copper in that charger, but that's a whole part of what we do.
And I guess when Dell gets these items, when you send them off, and are you doing that on a regular basis? You mentioned you can bring these any time of the year.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
So when they get those items, then they glean from it what they want, and what's left, they safely discard, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
You can feel really comfortable with this program.
Okay. Hours of operation, is it all the same for the different locations that you have?
9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and Sundays 10 to 6.
And the recycling side of things, another fun fact, and you see it now in commercials and stuff, that the younger people especially are realizing the beauty of recycling clothes, and that not going out and buying something brand new, but finding something that's been donated is often a good way to keep that good old earth clean.
It is fun, yeah. I love that part of Goodwill. And at Halloween, we saw so many people coming in and making costumes.
Yep.
And it's just fun to see how they use the fabric or all kinds of things.
Well, okay, so clear out the closet, your top shelf or your junk drawer or wherever you may have stashed all those things, your kids' closet, and then you can bring it to Goodwill. Any of their locations will take them. You can find the location closest to you, by the way, if you don't already know it, at goodwillchat.org. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Seems like CVD stores are popping up on every corner. Make sure you choose a knowledgeable